How are we feeling? How are you feeling? How's everyone feeling? January 2026 has got a strange energy to it, no? It's definitely not the Yahoo, woohoo, excitement, new year, new me, new body, new whatever. It's definitely not that, right? We can all collectively understand that there's a lot happening in the world that is not fun, that is not great, that is not for our highest good, that is fundamentally upsetting, disruptive, and chaotic right now. It's creating a lot of tension and separation amongst all of us. The biggest problem for me, I feel, is that everywhere I look, social media, not so much conversations, but everywhere publicly coming at us is this propaganda that we are separate. This influence of we hate this side, we hate that side, we hate you, this hates us. Not nice. And I feel like it's intentional to create disharmony and disconnection between all of us. Even this feministic side where we are boss babes and fuck men and men are evil and useless and who knows what, you know? And then both sides, from men's side to women's side as well, and pushing back. And then there's the right side and the left side in politics. There's war, there's hatred, there's poverty, anxiety, tension. There's just coming at us from all fronts that we are in danger, everyone is bad, and it's almost impossible to find peace anyway. And this is causing us to feel and accept that we are separate from each other. It's fundamentally wrong. Fundamentally wrong. There is in no way, shape, or form that we are ever separate from one another. There is no hierarchy in humanity. There is no hierarchy in nature. There is no I am better than you, you're better than me, I'm higher than nature, we are above creatures in this world. None of that. We are literally all from the same vibration. And that might sound woo-woo and crazy to some, but it's fundamentally the truth. Whether you accept it, whether you want to accept it, it doesn't matter. It's like, when people say, I don't believe in astrology. That's fine. You don't have to have to believe in astrology for it to exist or for it to be true, Just like you don't have to believe it's 2026 for it to be the year that we are living in according to this Western timeline, right? You don't have to believe in it for it to be true. I don't have to believe that I can drown in the water for it to be a truth. You know what I mean? Like if you haven't experienced it, doesn't change anything. Ultimately, the truth of the matter is that it is all Shri. It is all divine. It is all happening in God's creation as God intended. And there's a beautiful book called Conversations with God, which if it calls you, highly recommend it. I was always looking for answers all my life in terms of who is God, what is the meaning of life, what is my purpose, why am I here. I was drawn to the big questions from a very, very early age. I always wanted to find meaning and understanding for why there's so much suffering. I grew up in a tumultuous household where, as much as like everyone, we all have our stories of maybe not having the ideal experience, and maybe the ideal experience is just our experience, and coming to terms with that and finding acceptance for that is really our journey on this life, right? So I'm 35 now, and I think I've learned a lot in the past 7 years that I've been not drinking alcohol. obviously there's a lot of healing that comes with taking away the one thing that you use to escape your mind, your life, your trauma. And you have to go on an inward journey to figure out how to cope now with life without something like that you can hold on to. And from being in a household where, my parents divorced, and I didn't have a lot of safety, a lot of stability, I didn't have a lot of security. There was a lot of fear in me as a child, which I wasn't aware of at the time. But then understanding fundamentally that I'm in pain, I'm in some sort of suffering. I was longing for my dad because of the divorce. I was longing for stability. I was longing for safety. And I was going through experiences that maybe my peers were not going through at the time. And I didn't have an understanding or vocabulary on how to deal with that, because no one in my close proximity was dealing with that. We were all just moving through life. And when I was about 12 or 13 or 14, I really started asking, what is the meaning of life? Why are we here? What is God? Who is God? Is there a God? Big questions for a teenager. And maybe some of you also have had these questions, but I always felt like I knew God, and when I speak of God, it's definitely not anything religious based. God for me is the truth and the light and the bliss and the love that permeates all religions. It is the source of all. I found this new word called monotheist. I'm that. So for me, it really is one source of everything, and there's just different expressions of what God is in different modalities or theologies or religions around the world. Unfortunately, the problem with religion is that they've created a structure and a system much like the government, where they like to control, have power, and have greed. And that's okay. All to you. We have to live in a society where we function. We have chosen to adopt certain structures and systems to suit us that we feel are working for us, sometimes by accident, sometimes on purpose, sometimes we had no choice at all. We are sort of born into societies, right? So sometimes we have no say about it. We just accept it and we get through it. But there is more out there. Spirituality and God really is way more than what we think it is. And I'll say, if God triggers you, the word God triggers you, think of it as like a higher power, think of it as higher consciousness, think of it as greater source, think of it as love, think of it as bliss, think of it as a being in your life, or a understanding of the divine grace, embodiment of purest love, unconditional love that you can ever imagine. My God does not invoke fear in me. My God does not punish me. My God invites me to make better choices. My God invites me to act from love, to act from kindness, and to act from a source of compassion, unconditional of these kinds, right? That's tricky sometimes. It's normal. We're human, right? But my God invites me to. He doesn't punish me when I don't. He understands where I'm at in my life. He knows where I am struggling with things in my human nature, that I'm limited by my 5 senses, that I am in this physical body that is constrained by a mind and body that can only do certain things that I am aware that I can do. And I have to learn a new sense of knowing and a new sense of being if I don't know anything else, right? So my God is very forgiving and very gracious. So where we are right now in the current situation of the world, there's a lot of hatred. a lot of disharmony and not a lot of balance and not a lot of peace and a lot of separation. And maybe this video is just an invitation for you. Where can you disconnect from outside sources, outside influences, and go on an inward journey? Right now, we need a lot of discernment. Discernment meaning you need to follow your own inner compass, your inner light, and your inner truth for you to be able to make it through this. We are being bombarded with information, propaganda, media, from all directions that is making us fight each other. How can we go inside, stop and disconnect from sources outside, and just feel into what feels true for us? This is where your power will lie going forward. How much can you disconnect, and how much can you connect with yourself and your higher power, or a higher power of your choice, so that you can be aligned with your truth, so that you can be aligned with your highest good on the path forward, so that you know that you're acting from a point of highest good for all, everyone in your life, probably starting there. Because we always have this idea that maybe you want to just, it gets us so worked up, all this propaganda. We want to fight back and we want to be activists and we want to change the world and, screw them and do something. How can we bring this back? How can we bring this into our own home? How can we bring this into our own bodies? How can you take care of your temple? How can you invite truth, alignment, grace, compassion, kindness, love into your body? Let's start there. We fight with our bodies. We tell our bodies we're not good enough. We say that we have to put makeup on, dye our hair, do all kinds of lip fillers and surgeries and clothing, and we need all these external things in our life to make us feel good enough. What if our role right now is to feel good enough in who we are fundamentally? What if that's enough? And ultimately that is enough. But how can we learn that we are enough as we are? And how can we bring peace, calm, and grace to our mind, to our hearts, to our bodies, to our spiritual selves, to our emotional selves, and ultimately live in harmony in this temple? How can we do that? Because can you imagine if we are in peace, harmony, compassion, kindness, we give love to our bodies, we take care of it, we feel good, we nurture every thought. Every thought is not a punishment. It's not a, you need to do better, you need to change this, you need to, none of that. It's just, you are so loved, you are so worthy, you are so enough, you are amazing, you're light, you are bliss, you are powerful, and you are strong, you are capable, you're capable. Everything that you want is within you and you can have, as long as you improve your knowing to who you are. And imagine what is possible from the direction, from the perception of that. No? Can you imagine? How will we show up for others? How will we show up for our friends? What type of partner will we be? How will we treat our dogs? How will we treat our family? What little influence would the outside world have on us if we are untouchable? If we are fearless in our strength and alignment with who we are? We are you can't touch this then, right? What if we start there? What if we start in our temple? We bring that kindness, that love, that grace that we find within. We connect to ourselves, our higher power, the great of all, the highest for all, the highest good for all. How about we connect to that? And then we bring that into our close environment, the ones around us, the people that love us. We hold each other safe, we connect, we unite, we don't separate, we don't fight, we don't have opposing understandings or beliefs that's worthy of discussion. We let it go. We feel united as humanity, as nature, as the world, and we find peace with each other. Just your close proximity. I'm not saying peace with the government. Peace with yourself first. Wouldn't that be wonderful? I'll leave it there. Tell me what you think. What a world that would be, no? Yeah. Sending love, all my love. I'm here with you, here for